Okay, let's talk Kemba Walker trade rumors as we get into the latest Celtics news and rumors. I think this could be something that actually happens. Now, Kemba has struggled so far this season. Obviously, he started the year banged up, but he's played 10, 12, 15 games now, and he just hasn't really picked it up. You look at the numbers here real quick. 16 points, yeah, that's okay. 4-4 when it comes to rebounds and assists. Here's where you have red flags. Shooting 36% from three, shooting low from the field as well. You know, those aren't great numbers for Kemba Walker. He hasn't been very efficient so far this season. Hopefully he picks it up very, very soon. If he doesn't, though, I think a trade could be on the table because the Celtics have been struggling as of late. They got to mix something up. They're about 500 now. We've mentioned a lot on this show that the Celtics need a big. Maybe Kemba Walker can be a trade chip as they try to do that. And I'll just be frank. If I'm the Boston Celtics, I'm shopping Kemba Walker. I would shop Kemba Walker if I'm Danny Ainge. You've got a lot of assets in draft capital. Ship out Kemba and some picks and get some fresh talent in here because Kemba's not part of your long-term future. He's over the hill at this point. He's over 30. Is he still a good player? Yes. Is he a cornerstone? I don't believe so. I really do not think Kemba Walker is a cornerstone player at this point in his career. And if he's not, then you got to try and find someone who is to team up with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum because these are your two guys that are going to be key cogs on your roster moving forward, both averaging over 25 points per game. Kemba, yeah, 16 points, inefficient though. Hasn't played well since before the bubble last year, so that's a lot of games at this point. Marcus Smart, Daniel Tice rounding out your top five scorers there, but you need more. You need some fresh energy, I think. I'll continue to say it. The Celtics need to get a big in here if they want to be legitimate contenders in the Eastern Conference. That's just what I believe. And if you have to part ways with Kemba Walker to do that, I think it's more than reasonable to do that because, like I said, Kemba's not the same guy at this point. We have a large sample size dating back to last year of Kemba not playing at that high of a level. So I do think it's possible that the Celtics could look to go in a different direction at point guard. Maybe you start Marcus Smart at point guard and you trade out Kemba Walker and get a big in here. I definitely think it's a very, at least decent possibility. Should the Celtics trade Kemba Walker? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I want to hear from you guys on this one. Should the Boston Celtics trade Kemba before the NBA trade deadline? Get your votes in on that one right now. Now, we do have some NBA jerseys on sale at chatsports.com/NBA jerseys. All 30 teams, yes, Laker fans, we got LeBron jerseys, these alternate ones, but also the traditional gold and purple ones as well. There's Kobe jerseys available also, so go check those out. chatsports.com/NBA jerseys. We got Celtics jerseys, we got Warriors jerseys, including some of the new ones that are on there as well, I believe. So go check that out at chatsports.com/NBA jerseys. A lot of these are on sale. Go take advantage of this deal. That link will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. Get yourself a jersey for your favorite team or your favorite player today. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Let's talk trade rumors now. Blake Griffin first up here. Could the Pistons be trading Blake Griffin? Well, they're going to try to. They're going to sit him for now to avoid injury as they explored a possible trade for Blake Griffin. The problem is he has a tough contract to trade, and he's dealt with a lot of injuries in recent years, so it's going to be tough to find a trade partner for him. A buyout may be more likely for Blake Griffin at the end of the day. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, Blake has played okay this year, but he's certainly been very inefficient, under 37% from the field, but a good creator for a big, 4 assists there, grabbing 5 rebounds, but he's certainly not what he once was. There's no doubt about that. Now, as far as actually finding a trade partner for him, an NBA executive had this to say. I know they've been trying to trade him for months and can't find a taker. Part of it is Blake also saying there are certain teams he would prefer to go to, which, limits the teams, obviously. This is a weird one. Non-zero chance that they buy him out, which seems crazy, which means, yeah, there's a greater than 0% chance that the Detroit Pistons could just cut their losses and try to work out a buyout with Blake Griffin and say, hey, we appreciate your work in the past, but we're just going to go in a different direction here. We'll help you out. You help us out. All is well for both parties involved. And it makes sense, right? Because Detroit is certainly rebuilding. The problem I run into in terms of a trade is who wants that contract? I don't know if anyone wants that contract, which is why I think at the end of the day, a buyout's going to end up being much more likely for Blake Griffin. And, we'll see what develops over the next few weeks. Maybe a team toward the NBA trade deadline steps up to the plate, but I'm just not super confident that that will end up happening. I do think he'll draw some interest among if he gets bought out among several teams. I think the Boston Celtics make a lot of sense. They still need a big. They could certainly benefit from a guy like Blake Griffin. How about the Brooklyn Nets? We know they're going to be involved anytime a major name becomes available. They're not going to trade for him, but if he gets bought out, I think that's possible. Golden State, same deal. I don't think they'll trade for him, but I think they'd be interested if he gets bought out. And then the Lakers. They can't afford his big contract, but he gets bought out. You bring him, you sell him on trying to win a championship. It'd be weird after all the time he played with the Los Angeles Clippers, but I think he'd be very fired up to try and play for a contender toward the back half of his career at this point. What do you guys think will happen? Predict it for me. What will happen with Blake Griffin? Type T if you think he'll get traded. Type B if you think he will get bought out. What is the more likely scenario when it comes to Blake and the Detroit Pistons? I think he gets bought out, but I'm curious what you guys have to say on this one. Now, get subscribed to the channel because we have the latest news, rumors, trade rumors. We do power rankings, some live shows as well. We cover it all here on the NBA, so go ahead and subscribe today. You don't want to miss our coverage. We're keeping you guys up to date on the latest NBA trade rumors, NBA news, injuries. We do it all here at Chat Sports. You see the link below, but just hit that big red button and subscribe so you don't miss any of our coverage here at Chat Sports. Okay, let's talk Andre Drummond now. Looks like a similar situation to Blake Griffin, but also different, and I'll explain. The Cavs are moving forward with Jarrett Allen as their starting center, who they obviously got from the Brooklyn Nets, which was a nice addition in that 4-team blockbuster trade when they sent out a part of the James Harden 4-team trade, and Cleveland's clearly going younger. Now, they're going to sit Drummond to avoid injury here, which, is a bummer for him because he certainly would like to play and be out there, but as of now, he's going to sit. He's averaging 18 and 13 this season. He is still productive. He could be a buyout candidate as well if the Cavs can't find a trade partner at this point in time. But the difference here is Andre Drummond is set to be a free agent next season. That is the difference here. That's why I think there's a more likely scenario that Drummond gets bought out than a guy like Blake Griffin, for example, because it's a big contract this year, about $28 million for the whole season, so, $18, $19 million the rest of the way. But, if it doesn't work out, he was a rental anyway. He hits the open market next year, and it's not a big deal for whatever team decides to trade for him. So, keep that in mind when you debate Drummond versus Griffin, whereas Griffin has that player option for next year. I like Drummond. He's more of an old school center, but I think he could offer some stuff to some teams. So I think there's a little bit more of a trade market for him, but he is, a back to the basket, a down low post type of guy, type of center. So I don't think a ton of teams will show trade interest, but I do think it's at least possible. Whereas with Blake, I think it's really unlikely. Now, there are a lot of teams that could benefit from Drummond as well. Some of the similar teams from earlier. The Celtics still need a big. I think they could make a move, whether it's in the buyout or trade market. Brooklyn, I think Golden State, LA, same deal. If he gets bought out, I think they'd be interested. I'm not sure they would trade for him. There has been trade buzz with the Raptors and Drummond for whatever reason, so we will see if anything sticks there. But we'll just have to see. I'm not convinced that either of these guys gets traded, but I do think it's more likely that Andre Drummond gets traded than does a guy like Blake Griffin. So which team will land Drummond? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Which team will land Andre Drummond before the trade deadline or after, if it is a buyout situation? I want to hear it from you guys, so go ahead and let me know what you guys think.